I'm 28 years old and only have a couple $1,000s in my checking account, but it's not because I'm broke. It's because I have a specific paycheck routine for every dollar that hits that account to make sure it gets put to work. And so in today's video, I'm going to share that exact routine and how it has allowed me to save around 30% of my income every month and build a six-figure investment portfolio in my 20s. And I'm actually going to break down each step specifically, so make sure you stick around to the end because some of the steps at the end are actually the most important. The first two steps you can actually do kind of hand in hand. And number one is going to be to track your expenses. And now don't turn off the video. I know no one likes to hear this, but trust me, in order to make sure that your rest of your paycheck routine is rock solid, you need to know how much money you're spending and where. And so I don't care, you don't have to do this for a month. Even if you only do it for a week, get a pen, sticky notes, piece of paper. You can write it down manually, exactly every dollar that you spend and where it goes. If you want an app to do this, Monarch Money is a great one that I use. There's also Every Dollar, which is one, it's a manual tracking app. Check that one out. Ideally, you do this for a month, but if a month is too long, just do it for a week. But you have to do this to make sure you know how to assign your dollars to these next steps that are coming up. The second step, which can be done kind of the same time as this, is to analyze your pay stub. So I want you to go into your payment profile or whoever your employer is, get your receipt, and actually dive into exactly how much you're getting paid and where your money is going, where your money is getting taken out before it even gets to you. By looking at this, you're going to get a great understanding of what insurance you're paying, how much is being withheld for taxes, if you have any 401k contributions that are already taking place that you might not know about, or anything of that matter. Dental insurance, you name it, it can all be on your pay stub. Now that we understand exactly how much we're earning and then how much we're taking home after taxes and deductions and everything else, and then how much we're actually spending once it hits our bank account, we can really start building out our paycheck routine that we will do every couple weeks or every time we get paid. So number three, the first thing you're gonna do when you get paid, obviously, is you are going to have to pay for all of your needs. This includes things like bills, groceries, transportation, insurance, utilities, all the things that are pretty much required to live. There's some different numbers that get thrown around for how much you should be spending on needs, but a general rule is that it should be 50% of your paycheck or less should go to these needs. The big spend items in this category are usually vehicle payments and then living payments, whether that's rent or your mortgage cost. And so if you see these costs adding up and causing you to go over 50% in this needs category, the good thing is they're both in your control. So see if there's some changes you can make there to try to get this needs category less than 50%. And that's really going to free up your paycheck routine to help you save more and invest more down the line. Once you have your needs paid for, the cash left over, you're going to want to make sure that you have an emergency fund built up. My wife and I have personally built our emergency fund up to be around 12 months living expenses. You really don't need that long. General rule is 3 to 6 months. So we're going to set 3 months as the goal as when you're getting started with this. So whatever money you have left over after paying those needs, take a significant portion of that. If you don't have an emergency fund yet, and start building up an emergency fund. This should take you a few months to build up. But once you get this built up, put it off to the side and let it sit. And then this category is pretty much satisfied. The reason it's satisfied, we can pretty much forget about it, is because you need to think of an emergency fund like a fire extinguisher behind the break glass for use. That is only for emergency situations that you need to go into that emergency fund. And so once you initially build it up to that 3 months of living expenses, make sure that you set it off to the side, put it in a high yield savings account or put it into a money market account where it will earn right now around 3.5 to 4% interest. Don't just put this in a normal checking account because inflation is going to eat away at it. So make sure that you put it into a high yield savings account or into a money market fund or a T-bill fund or something like that, to where the money is accessible if you need it, but it's not just sitting dead in a checking account. But once you get your emergency fund built up, like I said, it's kind of satisfied, so we can kind of put it off to the side, and then we can really move on to the next step in the paycheck routine, which is when things start getting a little bit more fun. Real quick, if you're new here, my name is Cade and I share all my learnings and experiences from building a six-figure investment portfolio in my 20s. I didn't go to school for finance. I don't work in finance. I'm a mechanical engineer, pretty much just a regular dude. And so I share what has worked for me, what hasn't worked for me, my mistakes that I've made, and the wins that I've also had. So hopefully they can help you reach your investment goals. So if you're into that, hit the subscribe button down below. Thank you for watching. Let's go ahead and get back into the video. To check in at where we're at, we've paid for our needs and we've set aside some money to start building up our emergency fund. So now we're going to pivot and we are going to look at paying down debt if you have it. If you don't have debt, that's great. You can skip this and go to the next section in the video and go from there. But if you have high interest debt, especially credit card debt, we need to get that paid off. If you have low interest debt, like on a mortgage or that kind of thing, you can pretty much skip this as well too and go on to the next one. But this is really for high interest debt. So credit card debt, if you have loads of student loan debt, anything with a high interest, you really want to try and get that paid down and take some money out of each check to work on paying that down. I will go into a future video or do a future video on some pay down strategies for debt, but I would really recommend checking out Dave Ramsey for this. He has some great advice on debt pay down, some not so great advice on other things in my opinion, but that's for a different video. And so if you need to pay down high interest debt, check him out. There's the avalanche method and the debt snowball method. So look those two up and set aside some money after every paycheck to start getting that debt paid down, because just like the other things that we've already talked about, once you get it paid down, it's going to free up a lot more money for some of the fun steps that we're about to get into. The next step of the paycheck routine that I followed is your saving and investments. And so you really want to shoot for this to be about 20% of your paycheck or more. 20% is kind of the general guidance, but man, if you can get more, that's great. And this is going to be for investing in yourself, or maybe saving for big purchases that are coming up. So on the investing side of things, some obvious ones that we want to talk about real quick are make sure that you're getting your full 401k match. That is basically free money. So if your employer will match a contribution that you contribute, you get that pretty much free. And so this is something you'll also see in that pay stub when we review, when you do it in step 2. So keep a lookout for that. If you aren't getting your full 401k match, make sure you go back in and select that, because that is the closest thing to free money you will ever get. The next thing, if you're eligible for it and you don't have too high of an income, is a Roth IRA. The current max per year for a Roth IRA is $7,500. And so this is a great tax advantage account to invest into if you don't have one yet. And so those are the kind of priorities I would go, would be make sure you get your 401k match, open up a Roth IRA if you're eligible for it. And then this one's kind of optional. It depends on your employer, but health savings account, HSAs, I've done a full video on that on the channel. I'll link it up here to check out. Great tax advantages with that account as well. And so that would be the third one that I would prioritize there. And then fourth would be your traditional brokerage. So after you've done all those, if you have any money left over to invest, go ahead and throw that into a traditional brokerage account, put in some ETFs like VOO or VUG, some growth ETFs, something like that. Also in this is making sure that you invest in yourself. And this isn't talked about enough, because you know what makes a paycheck routine easier and makes it look great? Having a higher income. So if you can find ways to raise your incomes, whether that's going back to school, taking classes, getting different certifications, taking courses, or upping your skills and starting a side business, don't be afraid to invest into yourself. I have invested thousands of dollars into myself over the last years, some in courses that were busts, sometimes into equipment that helps me make YouTube videos like this, you name it, books, all kind of different things I have bought. So don't be afraid to also put some money aside to invest into yourself. And so inside that 20% number, definitely include something in there for your own education and your own benefit. And then lastly, as part of this kind of same step, is cutting out that part of that number for any big expenses that are coming up. We just bought a house about 8 months ago, but for the year and a half before that, we were setting aside, a sample of cash into our down payment for a house. We didn't invest all of that, right? Because if you have some money that you're going to need within the next year, 2, 3 years, do not invest it, because you don't want the market to go down and then you're forced to sell at a loss. And so as part of this 20%, if you have any big purchases coming up, throw some of that extra cash into an account that's specifically meant for that big purchase. And then arguably the most important one is to have a little fun with your money as well. A rule for this is around 3 to 5% that people say of your paycheck to spend that on yourself, having fun, entertainment. Don't think you have to spend this every month. Something I like to do is, I kind of save up, a little bit of my paycheck every month for me to spend, and then that actually kind of builds up quick, and you can go buy some pretty big, cool things for yourself if some of your toys are more expensive like mine are. But don't forget to have a little fun with your money, so make sure you're spending some on yourself, because it's really rewarding on the journey. And also when your paycheck routine, when you go through everything and you go, man, I got a little bit of money left over. I've taken care of all my financial responsibilities already. I can go spend this how I see fit. And so don't forget to do that. That's one of the most important steps. So that is the paycheck routine that has helped me and my wife save over 30% of our income pretty much every month on average, and has also helped me reach a 6-figure investment portfolio in my mid-20s. So if you found that helpful, hit the like button, drop a comment down below if there's anything you think I forgot, and thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.